everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Ananta and in today's video we are going to discuss about Judiciary Preparation 101, the basics of judiciary preparation. And for that we have with us today Miss Saakshi Sharma. Ma'am is a graduate from Institute of Law, Nirma University, batch 2017, and she is currently a Judicial Officer in the Rajasthan Judiciary. Let's all jump right into the video, which is going to turn a really helpful one for all of us. So let's get in. Alright, so let us all welcome ma'am on the channel. Thank you so much ma'am for being here with us today. We'd actually thought to shoot this video, I guess, a month back, but because ma'am was not available, she was very busy. Finally today we're shooting this video. Thank you so much ma'am for making time for all of us.
Thank you so much Ananta for having me here.
Alright, so guys, in this video we are going to be focusing on judiciary preparations and ma'am is going to guide us through that. Without further ado, let's begin. So ma'am, I would like to start by asking, when did you take up your judiciary preparation and how did you decide that you want to pursue judiciary?
Yeah, Ananta, this is definitely one of the most important questions for all the aspirants sitting out there. So for me, I'll be very honest, I did not have any predetermined plan during my law school that I would be going ahead with judiciary. So by the end, close to my graduation, I felt like I basically chose this by way of elimination method. Now it's very funny, but I felt like, okay, this is something that I can do, but I was not at all somebody who thought that I would just go ahead with it and clear the paper in one go. So a lot of my batchmates were basically joining some judiciary classes in Delhi, some of the very famous classes. So since I did not have any other plan, so I was like, I'm good. Like I used to be during my college also, I used to be kind of an above average student. So I was good with studying a lot in one go and scoring marks when it comes to exams. Since school I've been that individual and I liked law, so I was like, for these papers the most important thing is to just have concentration and study. So that is the only way I channeled it out, and I had nobody in my family who was in this field who motivated me ki, go ahead with this is how the life is after you are a judicial officer. So I chose it by elimination method, and I started preparing only after graduation. I basically joined some coaching classes and I got my guidance majorly through that. So yeah.
And ma'am, for how many years have you been a judicial officer now, and how has your experience been like?
It's been on the 11th of October 2022, I completed my 2 years in this profession. So I cleared my paper in November 2019. The result came out then. And then since because of COVID and all, it took us a year for us to be appointed, and then there is a 1-year training course in RJS, Rajasthan Judicial Services. So there was 1 year of training, and then I got posted exactly on the 11th of October 2021. So like a proper judicial officer, if you say holding my own court, then it's been 1 year to that.
Right. Ma'am, what we usually hear about becoming after becoming a judge is that it is very isolating or it is very restrictive. So is it that isolating or restrictive as we hear?
See, I think Ananta, this is more about the kind of personality you are and what have been your priorities when you joined this profession. So there can be two kinds of people, somebody who joined this profession thinking it to be a 10 to 5 government job, and somebody joining this thinking it to be a service. So both are different things. Okay, a lot of people look at it just like a government job, but personally I never felt it like that. It's a service that you are rendering, and when you are rendering that service with all your dedication, then I think you every day you will feel grateful to be on that post. And yes, of course, with this, as we say, with great power comes great responsibility. So is it with this job, as compared to any other job that I think. So with it comes this thing of, that after 5 o'clock you are kind of, restricted to your own home, and you cannot go out and interact with everybody. If you are, let's say, posted in an outline court. Now there are two types of postings. Either it's a headquarter posting, like let's say Jodhpur Metro. Jodhpur is a metro city, and we are posted at the headquarter. Or there are postings where we are posted in villages. Like my first posting is an outline posting, so I am not posted in Udaipur headquarter, but I'm posted at a village that's close to Udaipur. So it's just me there, and there's one senior officer. So now that's very lonely after 5. If I don't have anything else to do, or if I don't have a family residing with me, then it gets lonely, and I cannot go out and talk to anybody in the village, because then everybody knows me that there's a officer named as Saakshi Sharma, so they have identified me. So there is that problem. But if you are not somebody who's too much social, like if you come from a background who likes to hang out with people and every day go out for parties, then I think that's okay. And even in outline posting, if you, let's say, if I have friends in Udaipur and I think I need to go out and hang out with them, so I'm free to do that. But it's just that you never get time after 5. That's the thing. And therefore this job puts you in a corner. I definitely agree, but then I think there are pros and cons of everything. So it's more dependent on the kind of personality you are and you want to be in your life ahead.
Right. Ma'am, also with this job, like there's a lot of responsibility, and with that responsibility, you get a lot of stress and tension as well. I mean, so how do you deal with that stress that comes with such a strenuous job?
Definitely, I think all of these posts, be it civil services and all, they are like 24/7 jobs. And we definitely face a lot of stress, because it's not just about judicial problems, ki if bail has to be granted or not. It's not about that. It's about you are the head of the court, so you are managing people, you are dealing with administrative responsibilities, you are managing your court staff, you are the drawing and the disbursing authority, you are managing the finances also for yourself as well as your staff. So there are too many responsibilities which we only realize once we are into the job. So I think I am myself still working on it, because I'm not a veteran. I am just like 1 year into the job. I have definitely realized that there are days where I feel terrible. There's like a lot of chaos around what to do now and how to do it, and then you get along with time, I guess. And for stress, I think, be it while we are preparing for judiciary or be it after we have cleared the paper, life is not simple. So to deal with stress, I think the solutions remain the same. As I remember when I was preparing, and my parents used to tell me that there's too much of you studying too much now, you need to give yourself a break and engage yourself in hobbies. So that's what we also have to do as officers now. We don't have to disturb our sleep cycle. So we need to wake up on time and have a proper routine, and just try picking out to some hobby. If you are posted in headquarters, then definitely should go to gym or some dance classes or whatever we can do. Now being posted in village, all of this is not possible, so we need to have more determination and sit with ourselves, give us some time. So I'm trying to do that. I'm myself working on it, like giving myself some time after court, not just again engaging into more of court problems or how to do this tomorrow, because the day ends really soon. Like 5 o'clock, I come around 5:15, and I just do a bit of, I eat something or whatever, 6:30. If I make a phone call at 7:30, then it's about dinner. So need to fetch some time for yourself before sleeping or just after coming from court, and do whatever pleases you.
Right. Ma'am, like you mentioned a lot of things about it depends on what kind of a person you are. And क्योंकि law school में almost like most of the people consider कि हाँ judiciary एक option है that we can go to, we can pursue. How would you say, like, how do you say कि हाँ this is the way one should decide if this job fits me? So what would that be?
Exactly, like, the first question when you asked me is to, how did I decide, or when did I decide? And I told you that, I'll be honest. So there can be different kinds of people, some people I know, like they were in my batch too, like from the first year of the college, they knew that they have to give this paper, and they eventually gave this paper at whatever point of time in their life, and they cleared it. Because with papers comes, like, of course there's a lot of hard work, but then there is luck also. So to pick what is the basis for me to decide that I can be, for some people it can be just like they're going with the flow and just they're trying out, experiencing how is this. For some is that they already know the pros and cons, and I think बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे इसलिए होते हैं उनके घर में कोई ना कोई होता है जिन्होंने उनको वो साइड दिखाया होता है कि मे बी देयर पेरेंट्स आर जुडिशियल ऑफिसर्स और समबडी इन देयर फैमिली, एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली, सो दे नो व्हाट इज द लाइफ ऑफ अ जुडिशियल ऑफिसर. But now that I'm sitting here, I can tell you that people, those people should be giving this paper, I think, who firstly do not consider it as a job. It's not a 10 to 5 job. It will never end at 5. There's a lot that you will carry home if you have that patience to deliver to the society. It's true, these questions, we used to prepare for these questions for our interview, our RJS interview, like, if we are asked why do you want to become a judicial officer, that time so we just crammed, mugged it up and said it before the panel that I want to deliver to the society. At that point of time I didn't realize how will I deliver. Now sitting on that chair I realize that every day I'm making a little change, and I have to be very patient in this profession. It cannot be like, okay, you've got this application, I'll decide it as per my whims and fancy. No, there's like maximum times I'm not able to understand, okay, what is that they want, because I'm new. So I need to have that patience, and in the initial years you need to have a lot of patience. If you're somebody who's is impatient or likes to engage into things which are more social, like field on field work जिन लोगों को पसंद है, तो definitely they should not go for judiciary. Or who are somebody who will say that हमें इतना पढ़ना नहीं है, why to browse so many pleadings and pages in the court every day then after court. So majorly I think one major quality is patience. If you have patience, and if you can feel grateful looking at the fact that that's how you're going to make change in the society, if that is something that gives you satisfaction rather than money, if power gives you satisfaction rather than money, if the responsibility attached with power gives you satisfaction than money, then I think you are somebody who is made for this. Otherwise I think that's not apt, to just keep giving and spending your time giving papers one after the another, but not realizing what's the purpose, what's your purpose of clearing or giving or trying an attempt at these papers, be it of whatever state.
Right. Ma'am, because you have prepared, you had actually prepared after your graduation, because और आपका already clear हो चुका है, आपने prepare किया है, तो now if you had to prepare from the initial years of your law school, या आपको guide करना है for the people जो अभी initial years में है अपने law school के, what would you do starting से prepare करने के लिए law school में जब हो आप, and how would you manage your college studies with your preparation?
Okay, so definitely, like, there were a lot of batchmates I know, my friends who used to prepare while they were in college, and I was not one of them, definitely. So but I can still say, see, I think first and second year is too initial to start preparing for these papers. I think you should try taking a grasp at the college studies. How is it? Know the basics, because preparation does not start or does not end with just picking a book and giving objectives or subjectives. It doesn't happen like that. You need to have a hold of the subject. For me, I got the whole of the subject only after I joined the classes. It can be different for different people. I don't say that it is necessary to join classes. For me, the journey was that way. But I think first second year you should give yourself time. You should participate in competitions. You should um, explore your own self. Widen your own qualities and your scope, because it's a very limited approach if you get into first year or second year and you are just picking up book and spending your time giving objectives. No, you don't even know the basic law subjects. You get to know the procedure, I think, CRPC, CPC, evidence only by the beginning of third year, if I'm not wrong, as far as I remember. So in a 5-year integrated course. Okay, for 3-year law students it will be different, definitely. For them, okay, I understand that they're beginning to prepare as they start their third year, fine. But for a 5-year law student, he hardly learns anything in 2 years. Third year is the foundational year, उसमें काफ़ी कुछ सीखने को मिलता है. तो थोड़ा प्रोसीजर लॉ स्कूल से कवर होने के बाद ही अगर हमें करें, क्योंकि आई थिंक एवरी जुडिशरी का कोई भी एग्ज़ाम है, चाहे वो यूपी जुडिशल सर्विसेज है, डीजेएस है, आरजेएस है, सब में प्रोसीजर इज़ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाट विल अल्टीमेटली डू व्हेन इन कोर्ट. इसलिए प्रोसीजर पे इतना फोकस है. आईपीसी का सेक्शन नंबर ये कितना क्या कहता है इज़ नॉट दैट इम्पॉर्टेंट. उसके क्वेश्चन इतने नहीं आते जितने आते हैं प्रोसीजर रिलेटेड, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली इट्स ऑल अबाउट प्रोसीजर. सो it's important that you have a hold of the procedure. Now, and doesn't really happen by attending the classes in law school, unless you pick a book or you have a mentor who's guiding you after college, or you have picked a good book and you are going through it and discussing and consulting and clearing your doubts, because law is not simple. Uska interpretation काफ़ी different है. Because even after studying with a lot of dedication in the classes in my law school, I think I had zero knowledge of CPC or let's say CRPC, because it was just taught in a very mugged up fashion कि section 1 है, ये section 2 इतना है. थोड़ा बहुत ठीक है, okay, major chapters were taught, I will not say that they weren't, but not in the fashion as we need to for judicial services. ठीक है. A lot of people have that confusion that mugging up helps or not. It does. At the end, it's about mugging up. But mugging up will become easier if you get a hold of the concept. So I think first, second year should let it be. Third year, if you're so determined and you're so clear about your goals, then definitely you start by picking up the basic books. For contract, we know what's the basic book. Similarly, for CRPC, you pick up the basic book and read the commentary of it. That's how you will get the concept. You will not get it by reading a section, because the commentary explains you how to read a section with a particular other section from another subject. It's important to understand the interplay of sections. So once you get a hold of it, I think papers become easier. So that's how we can do it. If there's specific books you want to know from me, then definitely that I can share, because right now I don't remember as such, because I didn't study that way. For me, books didn't help me that much. For me, it was the classes. And why am I focusing so much on classes? Not just because I have joined it, but I think we need somebody who guides us through these tough papers. These papers are not easy. One level is easy, but the second level is tough. Or the competition has increased so much in the recent times, especially after COVID. It has increased a lot. A lot of people are sitting home and just preparing. So you need to make an edge. And how do you make an edge? Just by sitting at home and not joining any classes. I find it tough. Like, I found it tough personally. I need to report to somebody at 9 in the morning, and then attend the classes and then make notes and then have doubts and discuss. When we are studying at home, that part is quite less, unless you have somebody else who is your mentor, let's say. So that's from my side on how to prepare when in college. When to prepare, I would rather say. How to prepare, so I think I've still not dealt with. It will be majorly going through commentaries. Whatever you find is easy to understand. It doesn't mean picking up a very tough book. It means picking up the most simple book and clearing your concepts.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, like you mentioned, कि second year तक तो at least you should give yourself time, explore. What if a student is in the 4th or the 5th year? So how would that preparation, because मैं भी सेकेंड ईयर में हूँ, सो इवन आई डू नॉट नो अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, तो आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग. मेरे साथ और भी लोग होंगे जो देख रहे हैं वीडियो एंड दे विल नॉट नो सिमिलरली. तो आई गेस फोर्थ और फिफ्थ ईयर में दी फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ इंटर्नशिप्स ऑल्सो इंक्रीज, एंड देन जिन को कॉम्पिटिटिव्स के लिए प्रिपेयर करना है, किसी को किसी और चीज़ के लिए, सो वो सारी चीज़ें बहुत ज़्यादा इंक्रीज़ हो जाती हैं. इवन आई गेस दी सिलेबस में भी ऑल्सो इंक्रीजेज बिकॉज लॉ के सब्जेक्ट्स ज़्यादा होते हैं. सो एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम हाउ शुड वन change their preparation strategy?
I think definitely if you've streamlined that you need to give these papers the moment you're out of college, so of course you need to put in more hours, and by then you should have have had a hold on the procedural subjects. Like, I'm not saying that you've mucked up all those sections, but you understand what is meant by investigation, when does the trial begin in a criminal case, when does the trial begin in a civil case. So you need to have major understanding of the concepts. You need to spare more time, I think, and you would have to, by then, if you are sure that you want to go ahead with judiciary, then you have to stop giving time to debates or, let's say, moot courts. They don't make sense. They don't make sense at all for a judicial officer. Yeah, of course they make sense in the sense that they open you up as an individual, they make you a better person, and they change your personality. So it's very individual. But if you want to talk about, okay, how do they help you as a judicial officer, not much. So I think you need to get more focused and move your attention from extracurricular activities to subject study, and that will happen in the same fashion as I was telling you. Going through Bare Acts, breaking the Bare Act, the section, and reading it again and again, reading the Bare Act, the sections again and again, understanding the interplay of sections, understanding the procedure, because substantive law can be done later also. It can be done like this section says this section says that can be done. What cannot be done later is procedure, and a lot of people they don't have sound knowledge on procedure. They don't understand, okay, like CPC mein what should be read first and what should be read later. There's a way of reading every book. So that's how I think one should go ahead when in 4th or 5th year.
Right, ma'am. मैम हाउ शुड वन डू द फाउंडेशनल स्टडी जब हमें कॉलेज में ये चीज़ें पढ़ाई जा रही हैं कि अभी जैसे इन दी सेकेंड ईयर आई एम इन दी थर्ड सेमेस्टर, सो वी हैव CRPC एंड IPC गोइंग ऑन, मे बी CPC कम्स इन द नेक्स्ट ईयर और नेक्स्ट सेम और नेक्स्ट ईयर. तो व्हेन वी आर बीइंग टॉट दीज थिंग्स इन कॉलेज, हाउ शुड आवर अप्रोच बी टुवर्ड्स दीज सब्जेक्ट्स?
I think as far as I have been into college and I know it, like, you of course read it in the way they are teaching you. Apart from that, you need to put in additional effort because you want to prepare for a competitive exam, right? So there, as you were saying, foundational subjects की study कैसी करनी है is you pick up a book which you pick up by yourself. I think they suggest in college, like for I remember for CRPC it is Kelkar's. So it's a fine book that you will explain a bit more. Or there is Ratanlal Dhirajlal, which is a good book again, which explains you the section through illustrations. It's the best thing. So you need to pick up a book, or you need to join some classes, which elaborates that topic for you. Because, or you read articles, but then you can't read articles on every section. You can read an article on investigation that can cover up all the sections in the chapter investigation of CRPC, let's say. So that's how you have to just add it with some good material. So when you do it, then the section will make some sense to you. Otherwise, I don't know, it's very tough. People just start cramming up sections. It doesn't help. You don't remember it for a good amount of time. But if you have understood what's the purpose of, let's say, section 167, which is so commonly used, default bail, remand, everything. But now I'm telling you, like, I have studied, I have went to a coaching, then after that I have had a 1 year training. Now I am posted as an officer. It's a very different. वो section मेरे को क्या mean करता था जब मैं college में थी और अब क्या mean करता है, उसको बहुत difference है. नाउ आई सी कि उसके सेक्शन में जो एक एक चीज़ लिखी हुई है जो मुझे पहले इररेलेवेंट लगती थी, दैट comes into practice only in court, and you'll be amazed by the beauty of the codes that have been made. They have covered up everything, they haven't left even a single thing, and that you will not understand as a student, and that's okay, because you have to do certain things for the purpose of exams. Not everything makes sense while we are preparing. We think that iska kya purpose hai, but then you'll understand it only when you come on the other side, which I am sure, like, if you do it with dedication, you will definitely come. So that's about it. Adding some material by yourself, adding a book, and reading the important portions of the code or the bare act.
Right. Ma'am, this very general question that almost everybody asks, that is self-study sufficient for the preparation? Like, you've taken classes alag se, so how would you compare it that way, and what are the things that one should be careful about when preparing all by ourselves? Because अगर कोई और होता है तो हमें होता है कोई बताने के लिए कि नहीं ऐसे मत करो वैसे करो, या जब हम अकेले प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं तो मे बी वी बिकम ignorant about things and all of that. So how would you deal with that?
I think if you're not asking me about any particular state judicial services, I don't really think so self-study is important in the present time specifically. Why I feel so? Because these days the pattern of papers has changed a lot. There was a time when I was also preparing and I had the same question. So I asked some of my seniors who was rank 1 in RJS, and I was like, she used to tell me I study for 12, 13, 14 hours, I don't know. She said, like, तब मुझे ऐसा लगता था 14 hours, how can somebody study? Like, she's like, I study for 14 hours daily. So, and then I asked her, join any coaching. She's like, no, self-study is sufficient. But at that point of time, there used to come, like, almost for RJS I'm talking about, because I haven't given other papers. So, I wanted to clear this paper, I gave it and I cleared it. So, that time there used to be like majorly ये सेक्शन में क्या है, उस सेक्शन में क्या है, यही क्वेश्चंस आते थे. 44 बेयर एक्ट्स, 44 एक्ट्स उन्होंने इंक्लूड कर दिए सिलेबस में. अब उससे वो कोई एप्लीकेटिव क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछते थे. दे यूज्ड टू जस्ट आस्क सेक्शन दिस सेक्शन दैट. सो पीपल वर एक्सपेक्टेड टू जस्ट मग अप, एंड किसी की मेमोरी, बहुत लोगों की मेमोरी अच्छी होती है, यू जस्ट कीप मगिंग इट अप, यू रिमेंबर इट, यू डोंट नो व्हाट द पर्पस ऑफ द सेक्शन बट यू आर मगिंग इट अप. We also do it so many times. I also did it when I was preparing. So, but nowadays there are two papers. One of them is very applicative. Small question of 3 marks, 5 marks, and you think just the section will help. It will not help. So self-study can only be sufficient. But I think you still need. I'm not saying like join like a proper coaching, like पूरा मतलब साल 1.5 साल 2 साल अपना कोचिंग में दे दो कोई, क्योंकि आजकल तो ऑनलाइन ही एवरीथिंग इज सो मच अवेलेबल. वही कोचिंग जिसमें मेरे को फिजिकली जाना पड़ा था वो ऑनलाइन भी है, या ऑलमोस्ट एवरी कोचिंग इज अवेलेबल ऑनलाइन. यूट्यूब पे वीडियोस हैं कितने सारे मेंटोर्स के. तो कुछ तो हमें चाहिए. वी नीड सम एक्सपर्ट टू गाइड अस थ्रू दिस पेपर्स, बिकॉज हार्डली 50, 60, 80 सीट्स आ रही हैं, एंड पेपर का पैटर्न भी बदल गया है. फोकस उनका प्रोसीजर पे है. सिर्फ मेजर लॉज हैं, 15 लॉज, 12 लॉज. और 12 लॉज उन्होंने स्कोप कम कर दिया तो वो क्या पूछेंगे? वो सेक्शन नहीं पूछेंगे. दे विल आस्क यू, दे विल गिव यू प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम्स, विच इज़ वेरी हार्ड फॉर अ स्टूडेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड, बिकॉज ही इज़ नॉट वर्कड इन अ कोर्ट, और ही मतलब ऑफकोर्स ही इज गिविंग द पेपर, ही इज जस्ट ऑल फ्रेश, उसको आइडिया ही नहीं है. सो there comes a role of a mentor. These mentors who are there in coachings, in good coachings, I will say, they have given a try at these papers. फिर क्लियर करके किसी ने छोड़ रखा है, या फिर उनको उतने टाइम पढ़ाने का एक्सपीरियंस है, तो उनके पास एज हमसे बहुत ज़्यादा एज होता है. इसलिए वो हमें बता पाते हैं. क्योंकि जब आप सेल्फ स्टडी करते हो और लेट से आप किसी सीनियर के भी टच में भी नहीं हो, आप सब अपने हिसाब से करते जा रहे हो, देन यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. You need to be in touch with a mentor थोड़ा and know if the direction of your you are preparing in the right direction, because lot of people are preparing, but मुझे लगता है कि लोग मेहनत कर रहे हैं करते जाते हैं, बट वो राइट डायरेक्शन में नहीं कर रहे होते मेहनत. आई हैव हर्ड पीपल आर स्टडिंग फॉर 12 आवर्स, 3 बार से पेपर दे रहे हैं, नहीं हो रहा. क्यों? कुछ तो रीज़न होगा. मतलब लक होता है, बट देन देयर इज सम रीजन व्हाई दे आर नॉट एबल टू क्लियर इट for such a long period of time is because channelized नहीं है उनका जो हार्ड वर्क है वो चैनलाइज नहीं हो पाया ढंग से. पता नहीं वो किसी और चीज़ पे कर रहे हैं मेहनत, उनका तरीका सही नहीं है याद करने का, या वो जब आंसर लिखते हैं, ये भी मेरे से बहुत लोगों ने पूछा है, जब मैं आंसर मेरे को याद है, मुझे लगता है मुझे याद है, जब मैं लिखने बैठती हूँ पेपर में तो मैं भूल जाती हूँ. So there is wrong understanding about your own self, which is why you need a mentor, because he will check your papers, or let's say talk to you and realize that okay, that is why you are doing wrong.
राइट मैम, आपने कितने टाइम तक प्रिपरेशन की थी? 1 साल?
Yeah, I think I completed my graduation in that April 2017. Then few months later I started preparing. It was around September 2017. So basically I think 1 year is enough, but in my case, since I joined a coaching and it took thoda zyada time, so my coaching was of 14-15 months, so it ended around February 2019. ज़्यादा हो गई तो, but then I think I got a very good conceptual knowledge, and I think that much time was necessary. It was slow preparation, but then it was very good. So I finished my coaching. That was like kind of finished to my preparation, and then by the time RJs came in March 2019, I was at home. And then there was all self-study during these levels from pre to the interview.
So मैम, आपने जैसे 1-1.5 साल करीब लेट्स से प्रिपेयर, सो व्हाट केप्ट यू लाइक मोटिवेटेड टू बी कंसिस्टेंट ड्यूरिंग द प्रिपरेशन? क्योंकि जब से अभी जैसे क्लैट के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे थे, तो उस मतलब क्लैट तो बहुत नीचे लेवल का एग्ज़ाम है उससे कंपैरिजन में, बट उसमें भी वी गेट बहुत कि आलस आ गया, नहीं किया, मन उठ गया, या कंसिस्टेंसी नहीं है. सो हाउ डिड यू कीप योरसेल्फ मोटिवेटेड एंड टू बी कंसिस्टेंट?
I think this is why I say that you need to have a mentor, because when we are at home and preparing, and how do we need to charge ourselves up all the time, and it's not possible. We are human beings, okay? If we are just sitting at home and not doing anything, with college so there's still thing that you have a crowd, you have other people, you have friends preparing, so you guys can sit together and let's say तेरा progress कितना है, मेरा progress कितना है. There has to be some comparison. Relativity होना ज़रूरी है, तभी you are you feel energized to go ahead with it. Or of course your family is there to support you, but they can't understand it the same way like you do. And for me, like initially when I joined the coaching, I was just focusing on like जा रही हूँ, आ रही हूँ, पढ़ रही हूँ, ठीक है. I was not that motivated, but then I realized that when people from the coaching used to clear the paper, and then there was a thing कि it's there in all the coachings that वो क्लियर करके आते हैं, तो फिर वो आते हैं मेंटोर से मिलने, प्रोप्राइटर से मिलने, तो वो सबके सामने मिलते थे. like we used to be students back then while they are coming on the stage, and they used to share their journey. That is what motivated me the most. Their journey as to what they were and how did they become this is something that inspired me every time somebody came. Every time somebody came on the stage, and I saw that how happy they were. And I think the most important things that kept me motivated was when I used to see that their parents are the happiest people. So for me, I think that I started visualizing while I was almost close to the end of my preparation, that how happy my mother will be if I clear it. That is the moment I'm living for, and how I could visualize that, because they used to come in our classes, and my guru, who I consider my guru, why I could travel so much, who was the head of that coaching, the way he used to inspire us by sharing their journey, making us visualize, giving that time. There used to be a class also sometimes to de-stress and make us visualize our future. So that is how I found my purpose. That was my purpose, to make my parents proud. Before me, that was more important.
Right, ma'am. Actually, I did my last internship in Gujarat High Court, and I noticed there were some interns who were interning under the judges. So I just don't know what work they get. As like when we're doing judicial internships, right? So what work do we get, and what is that importance of judicial internship? Have you done any judicial internship?
I haven't done any judicial internship, so I don't really have an idea about how will it be like and how helpful it is. But I think if I just think like a prudent person, then it will be mostly like, I think if you are working with the judge, and then will be more about studying on the case files, like deciding an application. So go through the case file, brief it to the judge. I did one, not really an internship, but I was working as Supreme Court law clerk cum research assistant. So I cleared that paper too while I was in my coaching classes in Delhi. So I joined the office for a bit, and I understood that's what we have to do. It's just you have to brief the matter to the honorable judge, and explain them so that they can quickly, finish their work. I think that will be the work of an intern also.
Right. Ma'am, what would you suggest? How do one get maximum out of the internships that we do? Per se, judicial internships?
I think just, take time, read the pleadings, understand the pleadings, understand how the procedure works, what application is drafted, how does it come in the court, then how is it filed, what's the process, because it doesn't happen like a file starts just like that. There is a proper procedure. Then find it in the Bare Act. Like the Bare Act says, the plaint, if you read it in CPC, that how a plaint is registered, how a suit is instituted, तो सेम ही sections या orders को देखो और फिर उसके हिसाब से मैच करो कि एक्चुअल में कैसे हो रहा है, एक्चुअल में कैसे कोर्ट में काम हो रहा है. That's how you will understand. But I think that's not so much help. Traditional internships won't be helpful for the purpose of clearing a paper. They will give you more of an experience of the other side of the table, which I think which will not help you for preparation. It will not at all help you because it will make you think about the procedure in a very different fashion. And you don't have to go into those intricacies until you actually become one. So I think focus should be more about, internship should not be something you should focus on as an aspirant. Focus is only on getting the concept, which you can very well get through books. There is no need to go out in practical, in the field and really see how is it. Only for exploring yourself, experiencing, that's fine. But don't expect that it will help you in your preparation.
Right, now. Okay. Now it makes it clear. Ma'am, in the end, I would like to ask what will that one piece of advice be from your side to all the students who are watching this video, to all of us?
Okay, so to all the viewers and to all the aspirants who are sitting out there and trying for a long period of time, or let's say who've just started preparing, I think for all the key to clearing the paper is consistency. I believe you need to put in same amount of effort every day. It cannot be like you think like, okay, I haven't studied for a week now, so वो एक वीक का जो मुझे नहीं मैंने पढ़ा वो मैंने सब एक दिन में 2 दिन में कर लूँगा. That will not happen. What lot of people do is, हमने एक महीने में पूरा प्रिपेयर कर लिया, हमने सारा प्रोसीजर कर लिया, हमने IPC कर लिया, हमने मेजर सब्जेक्ट सब कर लिया, ओके आई एम ऑल सेट. नो, बिकॉज द पेपर की डेट्स हमारे हिसाब से नहीं आती हैं. कई बार हमें पता भी नहीं पड़ती ढंग से, कई बार कम टाइम देते हैं, कई बार बहुत लंबा टाइम दे देते हैं, कई बार पोस्टपोन हो जाती है. सो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ procedural things that are not under your control. What is under your control is what you need to focus on is डेली थोड़ा थोड़ा पढ़ना. जो सब्जेक्ट टफ है उसको तो डेली ही थोड़ा थोड़ा पढ़ना. जो आसान है, जो क्रैमिंग अप मगिंग अप, उसको तो ठीक है बाद में कर लिया. बट मेजर सब्जेक्ट्स को विच आर डिफिकल्ट टू गेट अ होल्ड ऑन टू, उनको डेली थोड़ा थोड़ा पढ़ो, ठीक है. सो दैट यू नेवर फील लाइक यार मैं तो भूल गया, मुझे याद ही नहीं है, मेरे को तो मैंने 1 महीना पहले याद किया था पर नाउ आई डोंट रिमेंबर एनीथिंग. सो दैट इज़ अ कंप्लेंट फ्रॉम अ लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स दैट आई हर्ड दैट मुझे याद नहीं है, मैं कैसे याद करूँ, आप कैसे याद करते थे. फॉर एवरीबडी दैट स्ट्रैटेजी इज़ डिफरेंट, बट वन थिंग कैन रिमेन द सेम एंड दैट इज़ कंसिस्टेंसी. Second is, you need to find out your purpose, and that will be your journey. Matlab, when I say purpose, it means what is the reason behind you giving the papers? Is it somebody else giving the paper? Is it like a competition with your friend? Is it like you want to make your parents proud? Or is it like, this is the best job for you, you've decided it? You need to know. There's no problem. See, there's no problem that that determination doesn't come from within yourself. That's majorly because मेरी सिस्टर है इसलिए मैं बनूँ, मेरी मदर चाहती है इसलिए बनूँ. That's not a problem. But you should know your purpose. Like, I knew that I'm giving it because I think बाकी चीज़ें मैं ज़्यादा अच्छे से नहीं कर पाऊँगी, इसमें मैं कॉन्सेंट्रेट करके बैठ के पढ़ सकती हूँ. तो मुझे पता तो था, तो वो मुझे खुद ही पता पड़ा. और फिर the third most important thing is to be motivated, to find a reason to be motivated, something that you can remind to yourself when you feel low, when you feel like you can't do it, because a lot of times it will happen that you feel like I can't do it, this is not happening, I don't see it going anywhere. So you need to write down that reason, or somebody you look up to, and somebody's journey, you write it down, because when you think about it, you visualize that happening in your own life. How do you feel? And that is that feeling you need to keep inside your heart and your mind, and think about it whenever you feel low.
Right. All right. So with that, we come to the end of the video. I'm sure this video was very helpful because मुझे तो बहुत help किया, क्योंकि मुझे बहुत सारे questions थे, और आप लोगों ने जो questions Instagram and YouTube comments में पूछे थे, I've tried to include almost all of the questions. I would again thank ma'am for being here on the channel, taking time out. Today is Diwali, by the way, when we're shooting this video. So thank you so much, ma'am, for making time for us, and I'm sure this video was very helpful for all of us.
Thank you so much, Ananta. It was a great opportunity to be here, and in some way, I just tried sharing my experience in that way, helping all those aspirants who are sitting out there, and trying to make ends meet, and figuring out what is that rule by which we crack the papers. And thus I would say there's no rule. You need to have your own journey and understand yourself in that journey, like this is how you can do something, or this is not something that you should do while you are giving a paper. So it was a great experience to be here and share this journey of mine, and I wish a happy Diwali to all of you and all the best for your preparations.
Thank you, ma'am. And yeah, that's it for this video. If you found it helpful, make sure you comment in the comment section, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I'll see you the next Monday. Till then, keep watching. Namaste.